Ruthie Blum is with us now, senior contributing editor at the Jewish News Syndicate. She also served as an advisor to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It sounds as though, Ruthie, that this American and Israeli soldier is now in custody and safe and alive after all of these days in captivity. What more are you hearing? And tell us more about Edan Alexander.
Okay, well, what I'm hearing is that he just was picked up by the Red Cross, handed over by Hamas to the Red Cross, and he's on his way to being picked up by the Israeli army. And then he's going to be brought to a hospital in Tel Aviv for a checkup, physical, and maybe even an MRI, and also meet with a psychologist and his family, of course. His family is meeting him at a point before the hospital. And after that, reports are that he is going to be brought to Qatar, to Doha, to meet President Trump and to thank him and the Emir of Qatar.
Do we know anything at this point, Ruthie, about his condition? And when was the last time his family saw him either in a video or proof of life?
Well, I can't remember the exact date of the video, but there were of him, Hamas, torturing the families as it does, released a video, and both videos, Idan is seen crying and begging President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu to please get him out and please end the war, et cetera, et cetera. He looked terrible, of course. I mean, he's been almost something like 548 days in captivity, in tunnels, and being starved and beaten. So he's not in good shape. But having said that, we have seen some of the other hostages who are in terrible shape, how they're gradually recuperating, well, at least physically. This is the kind of trauma and post-trauma that stays with you for a very long time, if you ever get over it. However, at least, thank God, he's out of there.
He is the last living U.S. hostage in Gaza. This is a gesture of goodwill toward President Trump, according to Steve Witkoff, who is the envoy helping to facilitate this. He's 21 years old. He was abducted from his base on October 7th. He's an Israeli-American soldier, Ruthie. What more do we know about when he was taken and his background and family?
Well, what we know is that he was born in Israel. His parents are Israeli. And when he was very young, they moved to America, and he grew up in New Jersey. And then when he became of army age, he said, that's it, I'm going to Israel to fight for my country. I'm going, go into the army. At that moment, there wasn't a war. But he said, I'm going to enlist. And he came to Israel. And then on October 7th, 2023, when there was the Hamas massacred, raped, beheaded, burned, massacred, murdered civilians and soldiers. Most of those soldiers, by the way, were actually on furlough. It was a vacation weekend. I mean, it was a Jewish holiday and the Sabbath together. And that's when he was taken, October 7th, 2023. And for a very long time, the family hadn't received any sign of life, although some other hostages who had encountered him, some of the hostages had ended up in the same tunnel or the same apartment of a Hamas terrorist. And so some of them gave little bits of information. But the most disgusting thing was that after, when Trump was and Steve Witkoff were in negotiations with Hamas and through Qatar and Egypt to free Edan Alexander, suddenly Hamas said, oops, we don't know where he is. We lost track of him. We can't remember which family is holding him or something like that. So that was just torture. I mean, obviously, now that he's being released, we know it's also a lie. Just if you can squeeze out any torture, that's what Hamas terrorists do. But that's why I would just like to say, when they said it was a goodwill gesture, you just can't use the word goodwill with Hamas. If Hamas did it, it had an interest in doing it, and there are many, many interests, but goodwill is not one of them.
Yeah. Just to point out, there were 59 hostages that remain in Gaza. Edan Alexander, one of them, however, a third of them believed to be alive. So many more have been killed. What is the status, Ruthie, of any possible ceasefire as the president heads to the Middle East shortly?
Well, it depends what you mean by ceasefire. Now, at the moment, there's no, even the deal on a table, supposedly, an Israeli delegation is ready to go immediately to Cairo to complete negotiations that were halted by Hamas. It's always Hamas that says no to every possible deal. And this delegation is going to go and return to a plan that Witkoff had laid out several weeks ago that involved, the freeing of perhaps 10 live hostages and some other deceased ones, the bodies of other deceased ones to bring home for burial. And Hamas totally nixed it because Hamas's demand for any further ceasefire was that it remain, that the war end, that Israel leave Gaza and that Hamas remain in power. Israel cannot agree to that. So the question is, there are small ceasefires, though, as we've seen in the past. There were hostage releases when Israel agreed, for example, to a ceasefire of 6 weeks or a month or something like that. But we cannot afford to have a permanent ceasefire, which would mean an end to the war with a defeat for Israel and a victory for Hamas and, by extension, Iran and all the other jihadis. So that's where we are at the moment. We're all waiting with bated breath to see what is going to come of this.
All right, Ruthie Blum, the focus of the moment, you can see on your screen a live image of Israel as we await the release of Edan Alexander, which we believe has, in fact, happened with the Red Cross on the ground, but we're waiting for some images of how he's doing and this part of the nightmare for his family finally coming to an end. Ruthie Blum.